Right, time for me to predict the Champions League knockout stages for this season. We start off with a massive game, PSG versus Chelsea. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think Chelsea will cause them problems. However, I think PSG will just have just enough to get through. Galatasaray, Liverpool. I think Liverpool will do the job there. I think Galatasaray will give them problems in the home leg. However, going back to Anfield, I can see Liverpool getting through quite comfortably. Galatasaray don't have any travelling fans, which will make a massive impact. So yeah, Liverpool to get through. Madrid City, I think this is going to be a comfortable City when Madrid look awful at the moment. They've got injury issues. I just can't see them stopping City. Atalanta Bayern. A lot of people just saying quick, easy Bayern win, but I think it's going to be a difficult game for Bayern. However, I do think they'll get through. Newcastle Barcelona. Now, I think Newcastle get through. Barcelona's high line is mental, and Newcastle have the pace to exploit it. Yes, they have their own defensive issues, and I think it's going to be a high scoring tie. However, I'm backing Newcastle to do the job. Atleti Spurs. Spurs are crap. Bodo Glimt Sporting. I'm gonna go with a Sporting win. I think Bodo Glimt are it's a great story. It's a great story. However, they're not up against a European powerhouse. The spotlight's not really going to be on them as much. And Sporting are a good team, so I'm gonna go Sporting to get the job done. And then I'm gonna go with my boys to get the job done in Leverkusen and get through to the quarterfinals. Then PSG Liverpool. I think it's gonna be a big game. I think Liverpool will cause PSG problems. However, I do back PSG to get over the line again. I think Liverpool have similar vulnerabilities to Chelsea. Um, and I think it's going to be a high scoring tie, but I think PSG will get through. City Bayern is the tie of the round, 100%. What a game. I think Bayern will get the job done and expose City's vulnerabilities. So I'm backing Bayern to get through. Newcastle Atleti, I don't think it's going to be a great tie. However, I think Atleti's experience and know-how will get them through. And obviously, the second leg being at their place would be massive. So I'm going Atleti to get through. And then Sporting Arsenal. Gyökeres back at his old club. I think we're going to get the job done and get through to the semi-finals. And then the semi-finals, PSG Bayern. Wow, blockbuster tie. I'm gonna go with Bayern to get the job done. I think PSG are a lot more vulnerable than they were last season, and I think Bayern are a much more complete team. So I'm gonna go with Bayern to get the job done, and us to get the job done against Atleti. Obviously, we played them already in the league phase, beat them 4-0 at the Emirates, and I think we won't have any trouble putting them away. And then a final against Bayern. Wow, massive game. There's so many stories here. There's the Harry Kane story. There's the history against Bayern. There's the company versus Arteta. There's the they've won how many? I think six Champions Leagues. We've won none. But this is our time. It's our time, and I believe we're gonna do the job. Arsenal to win the Champions League.